You don't need more motivation. You don't need another productivity hack, and you definitely don't need someone to tell you that everything will be okay. Because deep down, you already know the truth. Your life isn't stuck because you lack potential. It's stuck because you've been protecting a version of yourself that should have died a long time ago. Miyamoto Musashi understood this centuries ago. He wasn't trying to improve himself. He was trying to eliminate weakness. Modern self-improvement teaches you how to feel better. Musashi's path taught you how to become dangerous, to comfort, to excuses, to fear. This is not a video about success. This is a video about identity death. Because nothing changes until you change. And you don't change by adding habits. You change by removing illusions. The first illusion is comfort. Comfort is not rest. Comfort is slow decay. You tell yourself you deserve a break, but you've been resting for years. You wake up tired, not because you work too hard, but because nothing you do actually matters. Musashi believed that most men live their entire lives without ever meeting themselves. They live as reactions to feelings, to urges, to circumstances. A warrior lives as a decision. The moment you wake up each day, there is a silent battle. Most people lose it before they even realize it exists. The bed is warm. The world is demanding. Your body wants safety. And every time you obey that voice, you train your nervous system to associate life with avoidance. Musashi trained himself differently. He removed the space between awareness and action. No delay, no negotiation, because hesitation is where weakness multiplies. Your brain doesn't resist difficulty, it resists identity threat. When you wake up early, suffer voluntarily, and act without permission from your emotions, your old identity feels attacked. That's why it fights back. That's why it whispers, "Just today. You deserve rest. Start tomorrow." This voice is not you. It's the echo of a life built on comfort. Musashi woke before dawn not because mornings were magical, but because resistance was strongest there. Where resistance lives, growth hides. The body doesn't know the difference between physical threat and psychological discomfort. Cold, stillness, silence, these are weapons. Cold strips you of narrative. Silence strips you of distraction. Stillness strips you of identity. When there's no music, no phone, no noise, you meet the part of yourself you've been running from. Most people avoid silence because silence reveals truth, and truth is inconvenient. In silence, you realize you're not overwhelmed, you're unfocused. You're not unlucky, you're undisciplined. You're not broken, you're distracted. Musashi called this state emptiness, not because nothing existed, but because false things were removed. The empty mind doesn't react, it responds. That's why modern people feel anxious all the time. Their minds are overcrowded with borrowed thoughts, opinions they didn't earn, fears they didn't choose, desires implanted by algorithms. Emptiness gives you back authorship. But emptiness is uncomfortable at first because your mind will try to fill it with noise, memories, regrets, fantasies. Don't fight them. Let them exhaust themselves. Stillness always wins. After silence comes intention. Not goals, not lists. One act of courage. The thing you avoid because it threatens who you think you are. The conversation, the responsibility, the work. Musashi believed that a man should wake each day knowing exactly what he must face and then face it before his fear has time to grow teeth. Action before confidence. Discipline before clarity. Confidence is a side effect, not a prerequisite.
Every time you act despite discomfort, your brain rewrites its hierarchy: action over feeling, meaning over mood. This is how identity changes, not through affirmations, through evidence. You don't become disciplined by thinking differently. You think differently because you act like a disciplined person. This is the first phase of transformation. Control the start. Control the morning, and you control the narrative of the day. Lose the morning, and you spend the rest of the day compensating. Most people never win a day because they never win the first hour. And if you can't control 1 hour, you don't control your life. This is where part 1 ends, but this is not the end of the system, because discipline without clarity becomes tyranny, and clarity without strength becomes fantasy. In the next part, the rules get stricter, the silence gets deeper, and the identity you've been protecting gets tested to the point of collapse. Once the morning is conquered, a new enemy appears: noise. Not just sound, but mental noise. Most people think distraction is harmless. They think scrolling is relaxation. They think constant input is normal. It's not. It's sedation. Noise keeps you fragmented. Fragmented people are easy to control by impulses, habits, and fear. Musashi removed noise to reclaim signal. Signal is the quiet voice that knows what matters. Noise exists to drown it out. Silence is not passive, it's confrontational. When you remove unnecessary stimulation, unresolved truths surface. That relationship you're tolerating, that path you're pretending to enjoy, that potential you abandoned to feel safe. Silence doesn't create discomfort, it reveals it. This is why people are addicted to podcasts, music, background TV. They aren't consuming content, they're avoiding self-confrontation. In silence, you can no longer outsource meaning. You must decide, who am I becoming and what am I willing to lose to get there? Silence sharpens perception. You notice which people drain you, which habits weaken you, which environments rot your ambition. You stop speaking unnecessarily. You stop complaining. You stop performing. Your words become rare and therefore heavy. People notice. Some will feel uncomfortable. Some will feel judged. A few will feel inspired. These few are your people. Silence also prepares you for proof, because discipline without proof eventually collapses. This is where physical training enters. Musashi didn't train to look strong, he trained to remove the off switch. Most people stop when it gets uncomfortable, not when it becomes impossible. Discomfort is not danger, it's data. The body lies to protect comfort. So you introduce a rule: one more rep, one more minute, one more step, every day. No negotiation. This destroys the illusion of limits. Around the second week, something breaks, not your body, but the voice that says enough. Once that voice loses credibility, it loses power everywhere else. You realize if it lied during training, it's probably lying about your life. This is why physical discipline changes character. It gives evidence, not motivation. But Musashi added cruelty to the system. Training happened at the worst time, when tired, when busy, when unmotivated, because identity is revealed under pressure. Anyone can perform when conditions are perfect. Warriors act when conditions are hostile. By now, your identity is destabilizing, and that's dangerous because instability demands resolution. This is where death enters. Every night, Musashi rehearsed dying, not emotionally, logically. If today was your last day, did you live like someone worth remembering? This question annihilates procrastination because delay assumes time, and time is not guaranteed. Death awareness doesn't make life darker, it makes it precise. Petty fears disappear, social anxiety collapses, excuses sound ridiculous. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter because you can see the clock. This creates urgency without panic, presence without attachment. And by day 21, the system turns on you. Your old self makes one final demand: stop now. This is the final test. The thing you avoided even during discipline, that's the door. Open it. Because transformation is not comfort with discipline, it's obedience to truth. Day 21 is not the end, it's proof. Day